know how I do.
Disjointed the fight and came back in favor of Fnatic.
And we're back for game number 2 of our third best of 3 of the day. It's our leadoff of our Eastern Division doubleheader. CDEC taking on DK, and tell you what, man, every time I see CDEC play, it's a good match. They took on DK and took him to 71 minutes before a winner was declared in game 1, but now they lead the series 1-0 and are only one more game away from putting themselves in a guaranteed position to go and basically, every team in Eastern play so far has lost at least one game. If I'm not mistaken, LV's the only other team who has only dropped one. And off the top of my head, I can't remember if these two have played or not. I should probably check into that. But what's important, regardless, is they basically put themselves in a position where they guarantee they're either direct qualifying to Vegas, or they guarantee a #1 seed in the bubble race, which is a huge advantage in and of itself. So a lot on the line for them, and DK coming down to their last 2 matches. This is their next to last. If they want to get on the positive side of 500, finish up at 4-3, they need to win right now, so they need to win 2 in a row.
Yep, and well, we'll have to see if they can finish off the draft strongly, because I do like what CDEC has done right here with the Death Prophet and the Vengeful Spirit. I think those two heroes synergize very nicely together, because the Death Prophet Spirit are physical, and the Vengeful Spirit can also lower their armor, excuse me, with the Wave of Terror. It's also a very good tool against, as we've seen, Faceless Void. And for good reason, the Eastern teams love this. Like, we saw it banned out by CDEC, or was it CDEC? I think it was actually DK. Yeah, I think DK banned it out because, yeah, I'm pretty sure DK banned it out because they were in the same spot. And they value it very highly, but they were able to get their hands on it, and I'm interested to see how they play with it.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, very much the same pool of heroes, even down to the bans. If you glance at CDEC's lineup, and well, I mean, they got the Venge this time in the Death Prophet, but basically the Puck is the only wild card in there, even including their bans, and now the Naga Siren. This is like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Of the heroes that are selected just on CDEC, 7 of the 8 that have either been picked or banned were either picked or banned last game too.
Yeah, they kind of recycle through the same things, but a little bit different on CDEC. Like, oh, except, man, that's a Naga Siren. Although, with Vengeful Spirit, or I mean Death Prophet and Puck picked up, do they really want that much farm? Like, do they really want a 1-position Naga? I guess it works. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It could be their support, but we're in for a doozy, as you'll say, if that is going to be a 1-position Naga.
Yeah, and DK, once again, I think is going to have an excellent lineup at putting pressure onto and bringing down the lineup of CDEC. Didn't make any difference in game 1, though. CDEC just flat out outmaneuvered them and outplayed them. But with a Viper, if he gets an early mechanism, Mirana, whether or not that's a core or a support, we've seen how well Mirana works with the Ogre Magi, just ridiculously well. And, of course, works well in conjunction with the Faceless Void. I mean, a hero like Puck isn't that hard to gank if you catch him in a Chronosphere, and you also get a 2 or 3 second stun off of her arrows. So, I want to see how they finish off. It's going to be with another hero that really fits in and jives with the Faceless Void. Love a Jakiro and a Void. working together. Not to mention it gives them the viability to take fights and push towers very, very early. And it's going to be a scenario we've seen play out more than a few times in the D2L so far. It's a race to kill the Naga, and for Naga, it's a race to Radiance.
Yep, and I'm interested to see how they lane this. They have so many different options. For instance, they could go Core Murano with Jakiro and Ogre for supporting in the Faceless Void offlane. They could go Faceless Void as a one position with the Jakiro offlane. They could go, I mean, they could do a lot of different things. And it will be a one position Naga Siren. Maybe we'll be playing that. He's usually their mid player, but with Death Prophet on the board, I mean, I would still expect Death Prophet to go mid, but Enchantress is the last pickup here for CDEC.
Are they going to do something wonky with the Enchantress? And, like, I had no way. Like, I was going to say, like, are they going to do something wonky, like solo safe the Death Prophet and then try to pressure with a Puck, Venge, and Enchantress down in the off lane? I'd love to see it, but I think it would be very risky for them. I don't know that it would go that well.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either. Cold Snap is playing the Mirana. I'm pretty sure he's their support player.
Yep.
And Dreamy is the Faceless Void. So it looks like I can't remember. Yeah, is this going to be? I'm just wondering if this is going to be like offlane Jakiro or not. That's the only question, but we'll have to wait and see.
Probably. Black Z was on the Faceless Void last time. Dreamy U was on the Morphling, so you're looking at a one-position Faceless Void most likely. CTY tends to hang out in mid the vast majority of the time, so likely to see a mid Viper there. And RB or XBG, excuse me, the RNGesus that he was in last game, he'll want a little bit more of that. He had a lot of multicasts in game 1, and he'll hope for those a second time around as well. Let's see how the lanes take shape. It's going to be 5 that are looking to invade from DK, so potential for some early action.
Yep, Puck is going in the off lane with Null Talisman and Tango. I haven't seen this before from a Puck. Normally you want to stack up in the extra regen, but I am not quite sure if he's going to be up against a solo Void or not. Dreamy U is going to be playing solo, I think, one way or the other, because he's been given a ward and he has a lot of Tangos. And normally when you're off lane or you're in the solo lane, you want to stack up on regen. That's why I do find it a little bit curious that Puck only has this one set of Tangos.
Here we go. About to get some eyes on each other, most likely. They take the short path. They're going to glance down the steps, and they're going to be able to spot this out and retreat very easily. And no wards were dropped there. A little surprised at that, regardless of how they want to do it. Warding the pool cap would have been nice, maybe. Spotted by XBG. Now they're going to collapse. It's a real nice movement. They're going to get some right clicks down. There's going to be a dual breath, but that's going to allow a magic missile. Black Z trying to help. May have just gotten himself killed. Maybe he's right on his tail. Maybe moving at 320 movement speed compared to the 231 of this Jakiro, 290 now. But it's irrelevant. They're going to be able to catch him for sure. He's going to salve up. There's a Riptide bounty. Just ran past it. He may as well have just taken it. CTY will be the one who snags it. But first blood drawn by CDEC.
Not only does he get the first blood, but yeah, the bounty's there for him as well. Nice heads-up play there by Maybe. He was walking just hand-in-hand with the Jakiro the whole time. He felt as if he did an auto-attack, that then the Jakiro would actually just use the health potion, and he waited until the Riptide. So nicely played by Maybe, getting the most out of that exchange, and he will be farming in the safe lane. So yep, DP, as expected, is in mid.
Well, they are giving us something. Let's see. Yeah, they are going to be just jungling the Enchantress straight up. However, DK wants to go aggressive. And I don't mind this at all with XBG and Cold Snap on the supports. And one would imagine it'll be, I don't know, like looking at this, and I think that they're going to farm, yeah, they're going to farm the Jakiro, while Cold Snap and XBG play supports on the Mirana and the Ogre. And I actually really dig 3 support tri-lanes, and that's not really fair to say because Jakiro does make such good use of early farm. But still, you traditionally think of him as a non-core or like a half-core, semi-core in most cases. And running this, you know, if they're able to just disrupt the Naga Siren's farm, slow her down, slow her path to Radiance, maybe get an early tower. Hell, how about a kill? There's a Fire Blast to lead. The arrow was on the mark. Black Z's there, has 5 seconds until he can dual breath magic missile, turn around on XBG though, and that's disastrous. The Enchantress was making her way over, and they committed to the fight, and that's the kind of thing like, I don't know. The arrow was on the mark. Kind of wish you'd had more of a duration from it though, because that Riptide just mauls you.
Yeah, really nice rotation with the Hellbear Smasher as well. Also, one thing to note is the Hellbear Smasher does give off the Swiftness aura now instead of the Centaur. Yep. So a little bit of extra oomph kind of helps you out in little small engagements like that. Puck versus the Faceless Void bottom. Normally I would heavily favor the Puck, But Dreamy, you actually got a level 1 DD, and it really helped him these last couple waves. And so he's actually been doing pretty damn well for himself, and he's getting every single CS. As a poor man's now, the extra region is going to help him a lot. So that DD played a big role in this matchup so far.
Yep, you can see he's not being harassed all that easily. Just a couple of CS, but not the end of the world. And Black Z wants to make sure, and this is something else Jakiro's good at. Like, I'm just such a big fan of the hero. You know, he can push well, but he also D-pushes ridiculously well, even from just level 1. I mean, even just one shot of liquid fire weakens down a creep wave so much. And yeah, and if worse comes to worse, you can always dual breath. And dual breath also serves as a deterrent if they try to dive you with creeps. The slow usually makes it very, very dangerous to do so. So it's 2-0. CDEC in good shape, but they're holding their line. DK is up at top. Cold Snap coming back up the river. This is where they might want to take another shot.
There was a mana burn creep actually in mid, but it died, unfortunately, to neutrals. Or it's regular creeps. So that's actually really good for Viper because he really does rely on a little bit of mana from his poison attack. And I think the mana burn is, I want to check it, I think it's 100, which is really good against Viper because he has such a low mana pool.
Mm-hmm. As you said, that orb. Low cost, but not no cost. And he is pretty low mana for the moment. We're going to see. He grabs his boots. They are going to smoke now. 2 towards mid. This will be a huge kill if they can get it. In the meantime, these 3 are left alone. So they've got to know something's up. And Viper, yeah, look at this. CTY. Not falling for that. Pulls all the way back to this side. That way he could duck in if he happened to see any aggression and knowing that this is the primary angle that they wanted to come from. Instead, they're going to come back all the way around from behind and try to get a kill here. This is risky, but if it works, it'll be amazing. Jakiro seems to be the target. Centaur's right there, has his stomp. They need to lock him down first. There's Magic Missile. Oh, he's so dead.
Yep.
Very well executed, very cleanly executed. They may, yeah, I was going to say they could have enchanted XBG. I think he was in range, but doesn't really matter. Nonetheless, 3-0.
At this point, this tri-lane is lost. It's aggro. I don't think you're going to push this tower with Enchantress in the safe lane kind of screwing up with everything. I say just go and start getting some pulls. Like, ensure free farm for the Void completely. Try to zone out the puck before she hits level 6. And, yeah, I don't know, man. This tri-lane's a disaster.
I agree with you. Something's got to change. And it's so often the question we ask, even when it is this early. It's obvious this is a problem. How do you look to... Usually, like, if one team wins the laning phase as hard as CDEC has so far, it's not enough to just adjust your laning phase. You want to do something... Wow, that arrow's not even close. It's not enough that you just change your own laning phase. You want to break the laning phase down some. You want to force CDEC to switch. You want to put some... No matter what you're doing, you want them to have to pay for it too. And I don't even know how they go about doing that right now because everywhere is doing so well. Dreamy U gets a bash and gets a kill on puck. I just happened to be watching him. I knew he had chrono. I didn't think he would spend it, but hell, he didn't need to. Just got a bash and got a free one.
Yeah, he could salvage this game himself. Like, he did so well in those first 2 waves, and it made all the difference for the rest of this lane. Like, this hero is pretty damn tanky, has the poor man's, has one backtrack. Oh, action top. Arrow misses.
Arrow. Wow. The Jakiro's going to make it away, but that if he hits maybe with that, maybe he's probably dead. Like, they probably just auto-attack him a couple of times, and he dies. So, right now, Cold Snap not having the best and most impactful game of Mirana.
Yep, but yeah, Void is a deceptively strong laner. And like I said, that DD just really changed the dynamic of this lane. And the great thing is he can go for another kill too. Like, oh, there's an orb actually aggressively, and if you see Puck has to walk all the way back. Death Prophet, I missed that, but he gets a solo kill onto Viper. Did you watch the beginning of that? Because that should not happen.
Did not see what happened at all, because to be honest with you, with the map being the way it is, the one place I don't expect kills to be taking place right now is in mid, unless I see Viper basically like right here. Like if I'm looking at the mini-map and he's right there, he might be killing the Death Prophet. That's the only way you expect to kill there. Arrow on the mark that time, and that's going to allow him to grab a regen. So, well played there.
That's annoying. He has an empty bottle, too. It must have been Viper just trying to get way too aggressive and then not expecting the ultimate to be skilled up yet, just by... from this, I don't know his name. I gotta figure this out. But arrow coming in, he will dodge it. He does have a ward actually on his hill. I don't know if it spots all the way back to where the bottom was, but he did see it coming relatively soon.
So far, things still going CDEC's way. The Void is in good shape, but the Death Prophet, the Puck, and the Naga right there behind him. And it's a fall off to CTY on the Viper at 22. Jakiro has actually gotten a surprisingly high number of CS given how many times he's died. There's an ice path that only caught 2 though, and he's going to end up dead because of it. Maybe doesn't care to dive as he has Song. He's level 6. Actually, he's going to break off. Yeah, they're just going to turn and take XPG instead. Take XPG and take the tower, I think. Ice path buys a little bit of time. There's going to be a fire blast, and again, if he sniffs any kind of reprisal, Song will get them all to safety, and Nature's Attendance is one of the most miserable spells in the early game. Makes the Enchantress and anyone standing near her feel damn near immortal. In the meantime, 333 not immortal. He is going to have to jaunt. And, oh, okay. Never mind.
Huh. Maybe he got hit by an arrow. It's on cooldown, so interesting spot for him.
No, I was watching it. Just like I thought he phase shifted. I guess the phase shift wasn't long enough.
Yeah, it's pretty short. I'm very interested in the Enchantress's idea to go for 2 and enchant. It's kind of like a one-point wonder. You get creeps faster though when you're coming out of the jungle. I'm saying this actually because one of my favorite things to do is actually offlane Enchantress. If you haven't tried it, you got it. It's so good. It's really, really good. And the build for there is max untouchable every single time. Max
untouchable, max Nature's Attendance.
Yeah, and then 1 into enchant.
Yep. I can dig it.
It's a response to all the Void pickers prior to the patch. When people would pick Void every single time, and then you'd hit level 6, he'd chrono you, and you just can't do anything.
Well, what is this prior to the patch stuff? I see Void, he picked or banned every game, man.
Oh, you still see him picked
West,
a lot?
And pubs. Oh, God, yeah. Like in pubs, especially in my MMR. Oh, man. All the time.
Yeah, he's still good. I don't see him picked up as much when I'm playing anymore, but it's always Slark now. Slark picked up every game.
A lot of Slark. A lot of Slark. I think Slark's really strong. I think he's going to be a perpetual first pick, first ban by the time all's said and done.
Well, he's been picked up in the Eastern scene a lot.
I'm actually surprised that they don't prioritize him more. Well, Viper got a return kill. All right, then. Got it from his own high ground, too. So not sure what happened, but Death Prophet ends up dead. Continuing to watch this top lane as I'm expecting a dive forthcoming. They're just going to back off for a second, though.
He just popped his Exorcism, too. That's pretty big, so there's not going to be any threat of a push from him anytime soon. Another 120 seconds for that, so nicely done. Answer's back in great fashion.
Meantime, Dreamy still hitting creeps and building stuff. 54 CS, 18 denies. He's tops on the board, and he is going to have a Mask of Madness in very short order. And DK, I mean, they're in pretty decent shape. It was getting a bit out of hand, but they've cut it back down to about 1,000 gold lead, and the experience is actually in their favor.
Yeah, that's interesting because they have a jungler on CDEC who's level 5. Must have been that solo kill, actually. And in fact, when you get a solo kill, if the other hero gets a solo kill on you afterwards, it's always going to benefit the person that gets it second because you just get you get more experience from it because they've already got experience from killing you. So
Right.
Viper, in that sense, is going to be doing much better than the DP.
Everything's staying static, at least for now. Black Sea is level 6, and wow, he just came way too far forward and may end up dead. Magic Missile, nope, no ensnare. They had the ward down and saw the reactions coming. There's an ice path, didn't catch anyone though. But yeah, this ward saved them. That's probably 2 deaths if they continue to pursue.
Yep, spotted out not only the Ogre, I think, and the TP from Void.
Yep.
So, pretty big deal. Bottom's bottom. bottom.
I remember that team.
Yep, with an Invis. But the Void already TP'd out, so I don't think they're actually going to be able to make anything with this, unfortunately.
Shout out to Tides of Time. One for my homie. And mid, there's going to be a Chrono. And this Death Prophet is downskis. So DK with another nice kill. And they're not making the mistake they made last time. They're getting this this Void up and active much earlier.
Yeah, good for them. They still need to put a lot of pressure on this Naga, though. Like, she's got about 2,000 gold. 11 minutes, not too bad. And she has been under some contention with the tri-lane, but I don't think it's done enough, to be honest. I think the saving grace to this team was, honestly, the Void doing as well as he did in the bottom lane.
Yep. He's going to have to keep it up, though, because Naga is still on pace for a pretty decent Radiance. They need to kill her, and they need to take that tower, and they need to do something to get her off a farm, because she's just going to keep piling it up. I mean, she's got 2,200 gold tucked away already. Only needs 1,600 more for her Relic. And there's going to be a swap on a CTY. This is a great kill. Centaur is there, tanky as he is, should not be able to survive it. He's going to be able to deal some damage. There's going to be an arrow that actually missed Garter and got the Death Prophet. And yeah, old Cold Snap needs to practice the arrows some. Like, that could have worked out. Actually, if he hits Garter with that, maybe Garter dies.
Oh, I'm sure he does. He's maxing arrow, right? Because he's support. Yeah, he is.
Yep. Exorcism being used. In the meantime, top tier 1 has died as well. The strength of that Jakiro. But now maybe disappears into the dark of his own woods and back near his tier 2. This is a lot of gold heading his way. And God, that relic's going to come very soon.
Dreamy U, though, bottom. He's 2-0-0, 70s TS. Has a Mask of Madness. This was a solo Void against what should have been a more difficult solo hero against him. So he's done really, really well for himself. He's going to have a Chrono up in 20. And again, he's like the saving grace for this team.
Let's see if DK... I feel like DK now needs to get him active again. Like, he's been down there farming fine. He pushed the tower, did some damage. Now, smoke him to mid, rotate him to mid, and go take a fight there and kill some supports. Like, he needs to keep doing that. That or take a... Go on a YOLO search for maybe. One of the two.
Yeah, what DP needs to do once he gets his Yules, which I hope for his sake is pretty soon. Actually, he's not very farmed. But he needs to be able to stand further back. Deny attempt, not going to work.
Yep, there we go. Black Z will end up dead. Impetus damage is legit. There's going to be a coil down on Garter, though. He will end up dead. And wasn't actually the coil. The coil was spent by Puck. Didn't catch Garter because he's on the same team. Now, there's going to be a Chrono onto the Death Prophet. And that's going to be an excellent return kill for them. And in the meantime, down at bottom, they've got the Mirana split pushing the tier 2. They got the tier 1. This is looking like almost a reverse of what CDEC did to DK last time. Like, CDEC is in pretty good shape right now, but their passivity is killing them, and DK is just taking the fight to them and winning them.
Yeah, it's a kind of a disaster that the Void had such a good time, because if it was like a time, like if he had the time that he should have had, CDEC would be pulling ahead so fast just because of how much farmed Naga is. Like, she would have been clearly on top. Because she's only 200 behind the Void. Void should be at about like where the Puck is, like 3,800 net worth. But he's almost double that actually. He's at 6,300. It's pretty damn good.
And it's going to be a mech build on Black Z. Mech not too far away. Only needs about another 400 gold or so. This tier 1's going to end up dead unless CDEC can do something about it. They respond. No jaunt. Could have gotten really close. Did he have coil? No, it was on cooldown. Cold Snap takes a blind arrow. Finds the Puck, and Puck, gonna be swapped. Very nice swap by Garter. They may have a chance to turn this around now. Yep, there's the Death Prophet following up, securing the kill on the Jakiro, and now gonna chase him through the jungle, see what she can find. XPG actually doubled back and dropped a rune there, or a ward, excuse me. But very nice play from Garter, and that's one of many reasons why this Venge pick is so coveted, especially in the East.
Yeah, and since it is picked up a lot more, I think they're just way better. Like, when I watch them play, compared to when I watch like someone from the Western team play it, they're just way more on point with the swaps. Like, I see them get caught. Oh, action actually is Q who gets called out. Untouchable doing some work, but not enough.
There's going to be a reaction down the bottom. That's a Void. There's an Ice Path that had him together for a minute. Will he get a bash? Yep, got it. And now the Death Prophet has to scurry away. There's going to be a coil spent just to keep them alive. Midas, in the meantime, is to pick up for the Viper. He went headdress Midas. That's odd. And in the meantime, Ogre manages to get a kill too, finishing off Garter behind the fight.
Must have been some communication about who wanted to get mech. Like, he wanted to get it, and then... Actually, I think I've seen him do this exact thing, same thing before. At the very least, he can make that into a pipe, which is not too bad for their team against CDEC. Like, it's really good against the Radiance, I suppose, and it's great against Puck.
There's a song from Maybe. Oh, he doesn't have enough mana to TP. Oh, he's dead. Wow. Can't hang out that low of health. And just look at DK pour it on. Down at bottom now, continuing the push. Liquid Fire, so hard to cope with. Deals damage to towers so much. Black Z eats a bit of spam damage down to half of his health bar, but in the meantime, CTY is happy to go ahead and push in top 2.
God, that Naga was so close to his Radiance too. I think he had 1100 before he died. So big kill there by CTY. That's probably a ton of experience for him too, as he's sitting at just over 13.5, which is by far the top in the game.
Yep. It's going to put it to use. They're going to smoke on the side of DK and continue to try to spot somebody out. It's going to be Jakiro solo pushing. They're hoping to get a big reaction. In the meantime, CDEC has ideas of their own. They want CTY. There's going to be the jaunt coil spin on CTY. He's going to try to TP right in their face. Got to get the match. Oh, there's a swap. Very nice play. Even the Satyr got involved. Oh, no, never mind. That actually was Enchantress. Let's see what the hell's the Satyr doing spawning here anyway. But anyway. Big kill on CTY. They have to sacrifice a tier 2 tower for it. I honestly think that's worth it for them, though.
Oh, yeah. I think so, too. If they're gonna put a lot of damage in this. They have no glyph. And they have a Void Chrono to work with as well.
And there's not a lot of TPs out, is there?
Are they gonna do anything about this?
They're gonna have to. And yeah, there's the Chrono.
No swap.
He's gonna catch it. Yep. Death Prophet down, and now the puck comes in. They're trying to scare him off, but really there's only so much they can do. And DK seems like they know it. There was a swap that time. Still trying to catch Dreamy U. He's very low if they can get any damage onto him at all. Nope, able to jump away, but they still got 3/4 of a tower down there.
Yeah, Death Prophet not having too good of a game since that first kill onto the Viper. And that was so unfortunate. There was 5 seconds of cooldown left on the swap. It's a relatively low cooldown on all levels. I think it's, what is it here? It's 45, yeah, static, 45. Yeah. But he had just used it up top to cancel that TP. Very well done by him, by the way, against CTY. So just bad timing there for CDEC, unfortunately.
Yep. And I want to double check this before I say it. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he gets that swap. I don't think he stops the Viper if he tries the magic missile. Like, if you hover over both the abilities, they're pretty close. But the swap range is definitely bigger, even at level 1. And because he swaps, the only reason they get that kill. If he'd have tried the magic missile or the Naga tried to run forward and ensnare, I think he gets out.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that definitely would have happened. So, Radiance is online, which is fantastic for CDEC. That will actually help a lot more in their base defense against the against specifically the Chrono, because then they don't have to actually stand someone up there in the front like Death Prophet, who, speaking of, could be in trouble.
Hero base shifted by Puck. He's going to blink away. Q's still there. XBG still barreling down the lane as well. And you can tell how happy DK is to go fight. They are not making the mistake they made in Game 1, man. They are looking at their lineup going, we're tanky, we're very hard to kill, and we can kill you quickly, so we're just going to run at you a lot.
Yeah, but that tower actually fell bottom. And I guess it does prompt the glyph once again, so they're not able to push top, but they were so focused on getting that kill that they didn't get the deny on the bottom tower, which is more gold for Naga. And as we've seen, she just picked up her Radiance, and she's about... Nope, she has her bots, so there you go.
Radiance bots at 20, man. Happens pretty much every time we see her played. Like, almost to the second. And it seems to not matter how good or bad of a start she had.
I know.
It just seems like it's games where Naga's super farmed. Yeah, 18, 19-minute Radiance. Sometimes as early as 16. Bots up at 18 or 20. She has a bad start. 18-minute Radiance. Bots up at 20.
Yep.
Like, that's how it feels anyway.
That's the Naga Siren. That's what she does.
How much do you think that changes for DK? Now that she has the Radiance, her push is going to be on all the time. Let's see, what build did she go? Yeah, she went max mirror image, and only 1 point into ensnare, the value point, which no problem with that. I mean, it's just the way Naga's played now. She has level 12 too, which is kind of a big deal. Having an extra 60 seconds knocked off for Saul lets her play a little bit more riskily until 16.
Yeah, I think it puts a mental clock on them as to, you know, them having to end this game at a certain time. Viper's going to fall off. He's not going to do too much in the late stage of the game against a Naga. I mean, Void is really good, but if they can't break the base against the Naga illusions, spamming out like this. Luckily for them, they have a mech, but yeah, they're definitely on a mental clock.
Multicast on the Ignite, but we saw just how much damage was eaten off of everyone there just from a few seconds of being exposed to the Naga illusions with Radiance. Maybe is heading bottom. He's going to go push by himself. He just kind of slid through. And DK's got to piss or get off the pod. They can't just sit here as 5 like this or they're going to get destroyed in about 20 minutes. And they're putting the good damage on the tower. They have a glyph. Naga, I actually thought she was just going to go straight into the lane. Instead, she's doing her thing here in the jungle. But I feel like she could have gone straight to bottom and actually have forced a big reaction out of them.
Well, she's going to do it now. So she's sending her illusions. 2 of them bottom, 1 of them to the mid lane to sit there. Although it might not make it in time because the creeps won't come out for another 15 seconds at least in that position. But nonetheless, spreading out the map. CTY TP's top, as you said, went Midas. He actually sold the headdress, so that was just definitely a form of miscommunication between him and the Jakiro.
I think he should have hung on to it. I think Pipe would be not terrible against CDEC, especially with the Radiance up as it is.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's also good, like I said, against the Puck. Puck is one of those heroes that you never think does actually that much damage throughout a game, but if you ever look at the damage chart at the end of a game, unless there's a hero like Zeus in the game, Puck is almost always on top. You wouldn't think so, but he actually does a lot of damage.
Well, it's really easy to undervalue, in particular, his illusory orb. Like, that thing does a lot of damage, especially if it's maxed early. But maybe, and company get themselves an Aegis, as we just saw. Was the Death Prophet that picked it up? And there's her Yules coming out quite late, but better late than never. The Void, what are you going to build, buddy? BKB it is after his Maelstrom. And this is, I just worry, man. We've seen it so many times. Naga, in this situation, she's going to push you and push you and push you. And you haven't even taken a tier 3 yet. They need to take this tier 2, and then they need to just choke this jungle. They need to not let up at all.
Oh god, no. This is going to be the gem here for Enchantress 2. Oh, he actually chose not to expend the Chrono, which is probably the right decision, actually, because Venge was nearby. So, they at the very least they get the tower, but yeah, he does not want to lose this gem at all. Maybe he's cutting creeps in mid. Really good tactic here, obviously.
Yep.
Use the mirror images. Yeah.
This is what us should have done in that first series, by the way.
Yeah.
That's what we were. If you've been watching all day, as I'm sure all of you have been.
Every one of you.
Go back. Yeah, all 3 of you. 3s and 3s of you that have been tuned in all day. Ush from Sneaky Nick's Assassin, or excuse me, from Navi US, was playing Naga and had a great game, except he wasn't doing enough of this. He was not using his illusions to disrupt lane pushes at all. If he had been, I think they actually end up winners in that game instead.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but anyway, maybe doing well, up to 12,000 net worth.
Top tower has
and just,
denied.
If you've noticed, about 6 or 7 minutes ago, DK was putting on the pressure so well, and it was actually hard for CDEC to respond. But since then, so much pressure across the map has been played by this Naga, and it's becoming more and more difficult for DK to find an opening.
Just look at the gold map, man. Look at the net worth chart. It just, this tells the story of Naga Siren in one line.
Yeah.
Such a miserable hero. I don't know why everyone doesn't ban it.
I don't know why Volvo doesn't ban it. Get it out of here, man.
What would you do? Do you think she legitimately needs rebalance?
Well, she's been balanced a lot, but I think it's probably the duration of the images. I think that's the biggest problem with her. I think they last way too long. If the duration's 30, why not just tweak it to like 25? I think that would help a lot.
You think that extra 5 seconds really makes that much of a difference?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the whole hero, is just being able to spread the map. Ooh, he almost used the chrono there.
Oh, man.
I swear to God, it looked like he was about to, but...
Yeah, I think he was. I mean, why else does he Mask of Madness and Time Walk if he's not going to chrono?
Yep.
They're going to try to make a run at this bottom tier 3 again. Aegis is still up for 2 minutes. And CDEC, if we're honest, a little out of position right now. This tower is going to be whittled down. They're going to hang on to their glyph. Like, with this Aegis and with the Naga doing as well as she is, like, I halfway wonder if they shouldn't just try to run out. I guess they're just playing ultra defensive and protect Naga. But it is working out. She's going to have a Manta style soon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Look, they anticipated this.
What's that?
Naga illusion. They actually spotted it coming this way from a ward. They saw the Naga illusion that was coming to cut these creeps again, and they went back and got it as a team.
Okay. Well, that's nice for them, but Naga split pushing 2 separate lanes at the same time. Was in mid, but the illusions went timed out. But as long as they need a glyph now, they're just gonna let it go. I don't know why they didn't glyph that. Oh no, Q.
Yep. Arrow on the mark. I think they're scared of the of losing a fight here and the racks being in danger.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
Well, they need to fight this. Like,
yeah.
Naga, you got to TP back, bro.
And Naga takes the tower. She's not TPing back.
Radiant's middle tower.
Anytime.
I'm flabbergasted. I don't know what's going on.
All right. So, range racks down. And puck goes in way too late.
Has fallen.
You got me, man.
I mean, they have Aegis. They have Sleep. They have Swap for the Chrono. What? I am so confused right now.
Yeah, like, this is where I usually rely on you to tell me.
I mean, okay, it was just a ranged Rex. They still use Glyph, though. That's the funny thing to me. If they wanted to just give it away, why would you use the Glyph? If that was their plan. I don't know. That was very strange to me. I think they easily fight that with the Aegis. Like, when are you going to get a better time to base defend than that?
Yeah, why wouldn't use the thing? Like, why not just pull your Naga back, TP her like right here, and as soon as she lands, sing and walk forward? Maybe not even that far back. And then just have your puck ready to go. Like, your puck's going to be able to find the perfect waning rift, and Naga actually gets a kill on Jakiro by herself. No, never mind, puck over. But yeah, like, if you catch 2 or 3 heroes clumped up and they're not expecting it, suddenly there's 2 or 3 clumped up, perfect waning rift, perfect coil, perfect silence from the Death Prophet if she has a point into it, and yeah, she's got 3 actually. And I don't know, I'm baffled as well. Makes 0 sense.
Yeah, like I said, if they were somehow thinking, let's give up a Rax in favor of getting more map control on the other 2 lanes and just way more farm on Naga, okay, I still don't agree with it, but I can see where they're coming from. But if that's the case, why would they Glyph then? I don't know why they would waste the Glyph if that was their logic. So I just, yeah. Again, the biggest thing is the fact that the DP had the Aegis, and that's like the perfect opportunity for her to actually do something in these fights because she hasn't done anything really. And like I said, even if she does get focused and didn't have the Aegis, even if she didn't have the Aegis, you have the swap out from Venge. So that's always going to be their failsafe.
And speaking of, Venge is there. They just seem scared to engage this Faceless Void. He does have a BKB. And he is pretty well farmed, sitting at 4-0. He's in number 2 in overall net worth, but the Naga again continuing to just spike. And yep, look at the goal in the net worth graph. This is what a Naga game looks like usually.
Yep, and it's not, I mean, it's kind of a spike, but that's over the course of, from the top to the bottom, what, 10 minutes or something?
Yep, and it's also just a gold amount of 4,000. So even though it looks very dramatic, it's still very, very small amounts for the most part.
Right.
Arrow shot. Off the mark. Good attempt, though, and sorry, Q. Wrong place to go. Walks down and nope. Tried the nope on out, but caught and killed. And the Vipers and men, they're probably going to collapse and sweep into the mid lane. And yeah, that's what CDEC's going to anticipate as they bail out.
And CDEC's just going to give them the mid racks.
Yeah.
So they can go push out and farm the enemy jungle.
Not going to farm, dude.
Yep. Easy decision there. And they still have no glyph for quite some time.
Yep.
Minute and 40 seconds for that.
Naga Illusion's just standing vigilant. That courier almost died there, actually. And it has a vid booster for maybe on it. And he will take it. They need to fight. Like, they can't just not fight forever. There's a sentry and another sentry, and they're going to spot one. There's going to be the Ice Path, and there's going to be the Chrono. And good swap from Garter. He's dead, though. Now maybe going to sing a song. BKB was activated, and they do decide to go ahead and re-engage off it. There's going to be the Exorcism. It's level 2. From the Chase Mountain. Magic Missile disjointed. Black Sea's taking a lot of damage. The Venge did buy back and to attempt to defend. CTY is going to end up dying at the front of this, though, and so will Black Z. Dreamy U caught from behind. If they get him, it'll be... Oh, yes, good silence. Well placed by that Death Prophet. And that ends up being a big win for them. Cost them nothing but a buyback on the Vengeful Spirit. Great swap from Garter. And Venge is just the Faceless Void counter, I'm convinced. Like, in turn, when Venge is in good hands, she just completely just bones a Void hard.
Yeah, I totally agree. And they're showing that why Venge is a top tier pick. And the thing is yes, I agree with you that it's one of the best counters to Void. I think it still is a good counter to anyone that's trying to zone in on one hero and burst them down.
Lycan,
anyone. Like it could be any hero that's trying to focus someone down and totally disjoints him.
Lifesteal, whatever.
Yeah, it's just such a good hero, and the Eastern teams are really showing that.
Well, CDEC with a breath of life after it looked like they were ready to just be like, take our buildings. We just want Naga to build things. Fine. Instead, they're on the tier 2 bottom, and this is the last remaining outer tier tower for Team DK. And we can see there was a brief spike up, but now a much deeper chasm down in the net worth. The experience is still very close, and as is the net worth for the most part, but Roshan's up. They're going to spot it. They don't have Exorcism. They should be able to take it relatively quick. Yep, Max Untouchable makes Roshan pretty easy.
Certainly does. Heart finished for maybe. And he's got not too much gold after that, but hey, how could you complain about this, having 19,000 gold net worth for yourself? And see, does he take the Aegis? Probably gives it to the DP. Well, nope, he's taking it because he doesn't have buyback. Drops the Quelling Blade, Aegis goes to Naga.
I think that's who it should be on. They're just going to try to farm her with this Aegis, though. Just let her buy time. Meantime, down at bottom, Creep Wave makes it all the way to tier 3. And they have to keep this lane shoved because of the missing ranged racks now. But so far, they seem to be maintaining pretty good control of the map. 4,200 gold is saved up on the Death Prophet as well, so she can buy her BKB straight away. Yep, BKB is... Yeah, I think BKB is going to be good here. Like, you want to use the swap for the Chronosoul, or for the Chronosphere, and you want to use your BKB for the other things like the Ice Path in particular. Dreamy, you taking a lot of damage from the burn, and here comes the real maybe with support. Yep. Do they have detection? They must have a gem somewhere. Let me look here. It's on the puck. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say they had to. So they use Exorcism, they bring down CTY, and they're going to view that as just the chance to go farm some more. And we could see, I mean, that's a big change. Like, just killing him, that's like a 1,200 gold change, basically. Yep, pretty good. More farm for the Naga. She bots bottom. I think this is actually getting out of control. She's just way too farmed, man. She's going to be 6-slotted at about, like, 42 minutes or something if this keeps up. I mean, she's got 2,900 gold. Like, what does she build now? Butterfly? She's going to have her Eagle Song soon. Yeah, Butterfly. I mean, Void's not going to have an MKB anytime soon, so. No. And there's going to be an enchant. Good swap from Garter. And yeah, I think CDEC has blown this wide open. DK had their chance. DK was actually putting the screws to him quite well. But CDEC, I think, has taken control of the game sufficiently. I don't know. Like, when you hit a point of critical mass like this with the Naga Siren, and she's not just ahead, but look how far ahead. She's almost 10k ahead of the Void. And this is a Void that had a really good time, too. Like, oh, yeah. Keep that in mind. Like, his net worth should probably be, like I said, right around where the Puck's is, if not lower, because Puck should have done way better in that lane. But, yeah, so it's kind of skewed even how farmed he is. That's obnoxious. Did you see what happened there? No, I heard a Yules. No, the Void jumped on the Enchantress. Didn't want a Chronosphere. Max Untouchable. Even with his Mask of Madness, he still was hitting her kind of slow-ish. Got her down to within like one good bash worth of health, and then Puck shows up, Yules him, and the Enchantress enchants him and runs away. Yep, that'll do it. Does he have a... Yeah, he has a BKB, so he didn't want to use the ulti. He could use the BKB to get through the Untouchable, but obviously using the ulti is better because you need to hold on to those high durations of the BKB charges. Yeah, at this point, I don't think he's valuing the Enchantress that high. Nope. Naga's Aegis still has 2 minutes left on it, and this is going to be such a big issue. Like, this is just why this is such a miserable hero. It's like, oh, look, they're crossing the river. Let's just go push racks on this tier 3 that's been whittled down by my illusions already. And I don't think Viper should get BKB. I think they really need damage, honestly. Yeah, I agree. I don't think that BKB is going to do much, and if he gets isolated again with... Oh, Ogre actually gets a kill onto this Enchantress. Yep, they got him that time. The arrow was off the mark. They still managed to get it. In the meantime, guess what? Naga Siren says, I can push faster than your whole team. How's that taste? How you like me now? And they're going to be able to zone them out. They actually prompt
top
the Moonlight Shadow perhaps a little bit early. Naga Siren's going to town on the second set of racks now. Look at this. She's at the tier 3. Finally, she's going to come back in. She'll be singing a song when she lands. One would think she will be... Oh, no, she's just going to get stunned and 3 times multicast. And Chain Arrow. Why did you not song? Yeah, I know, but she still should have songed. I don't know. I guess the Aegis was about to expire. Use it or lose it.
Now she might song.
Yep. Yeah, now she should. Oh, wow. All right. How are we going to go about this, boys? Should be a nice silence coming out of 2 of you. And the puck gets in, gets the Waning Rift, and a nice 2-man coil. Yules himself. Here comes Dreamy U. Wants to get a chrono and does. And they're going to go right to town on the Death Prophet, but there's the swap. Garter swapped out the Death Prophet, still alive, who Yules himself. They're going to get maybe. No, they're not. No, they're not. Can't kill the Naga Siren. Naga Siren is a balanced hero. Quote, maybe. Black Z.
Oh!
Almost got him with the ensnare. Oh, man.
GG.
GG. Yeah, what do you do? Naga Siren is a fun hero to watch and to play. Not real. No. I don't mind watching Naga so much, especially when it's played well, but you got to ban the hero, I think. Like, if you know the team has any capability of playing it, you got to ban it.
Well, I will give him a tip of my hat to just actually go aggressive and try to do something to disrupt his farm. Like, I've seen too many games where if the Naga Siren is going safe lane, a team will be like, we'll just ignore it. We'll farm up our, gyrocopter and we'll fight him late game. But it never works out that way.
No.
Like, it never doesn't work out that way. So I give him a tip of my hat to at least try to disrupt their farm. They win that lane. They flat out lost it. Enchantment had too many good ganks. And while she was kind of feeding in there towards the end, she really had her effectiveness in the laning stage, which is what prompted very, very quick Radiance from Maybe.
Oh, yeah. Radiance came out at a very good clip. And in the end, that was enough. And the real story here, CDEC still has an outside shot at potentially making it into the playoffs. But the big story is that CDEC, with that win, is now 5-1. Meaning they are just, 5-1 with 1 match left to go. If they win their last match, nobody has gone spotless in Eastern Play so far. There are 2 teams, LV and them, who have lost 1 match. If they can win their last match, they guarantee themselves, at bare minimum, a #1 seed in the bubble race, or potentially a direct qualifying spot straight to Vegas. So, a lot on the line this game, or this series, and they come through in a very, very big way. Alrighty, guys, fun series. 30 minutes until our next one starts. Can't wait to get that going your way as well. And hope you'll stick around, or at the very least, make sure you hit follow. If you got to bail out now, I understand. It's all right. Why don't you come back later, though? Hit follow on twitch.tv/D2L, and hopefully we'll see you back in the future. Don't want you to miss a minute of the action. You can also find D2L on Twitter and Facebook as well. It's at D2LGG. Both of them. For myself and Trouf, it's at AC, at AYESEE, and Trouf is at TroufDota, TRALFDOTA. Our next best of 3 coming up again, just about a half hour from now. So take a break, smoke them if you got them, drink them if you got them, but be back. And however much time I just said for like the 5th time. I don't know. We've been doing this a lot and I'm tired. Leave me alone. 30 minutes. See you in a minute. 30 minutes. 30. See you in a minute.